introduce you all to Tommy Richardson. Thank you very much, Tim, for a nice introduction. As Tim mentioned, I met him at the Noblesville Toastmaster Club about a year ago. Can't remember, but Tim has kind of stayed in contact with me, and when the opportunity came to come to speak to Westfield Club, I'll do it, okay. And I haven't been at all disappointed in seeing the group tonight and how warm you are, and everybody shaking hands or using their elbows. I didn't see any hugging. We thought about it, didn't we? But it is a pleasure to be here and to share with you a little bit about a long experience I've had with this organization. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences because some of you may be in your level of life right now where you're thinking about where can I make that personal investment in my life and what it's meant to me. And I became a Toastmaster in 1971. So you know I've been around a while, right? So I want to share a little bit of that with you. But one of the things when I'm introduced, a lot of people, when you get down to there, I hold 2 world records in powerlifting. Now, how many of you ladies know what powerlifting is? Wow, more thoughts than I knew. Okay. Well, I got started in that many, many years ago, and about 3 years ago, I took the world title in Las Vegas in my age bracket. Everybody said, wow. Was anybody even lifting at your age bracket, right? In weight bracket. So I took 2 world titles, and everybody said, well, how do you do that? How do you stay, I'm 83 years old. How do you stay at 83 in this kind of condition and still doing those kind of things? Well, I said, I got to tell you, in my age bracket, there's not a lot of competition. And I have a great chance of winning a trophy every now and then. So I'm still involved in that, as Tim mentioned to you. But I want you to think about something. How many of you have some investments? Yeah, okay, don't we all? The title of my talk tonight is My Greatest Investment. My greatest investment. Now, when you think of an investment, you think of making a purchase, you're putting out something, you want to get something back, right? Investments go a lot of ways. They go in certainly real estate, they go in insurance. I have to say that, coming from State Farm Insurance Company, right? They come from insurance, they come from savings, they come from your education, from your formal education. There's investment there. An investment certainly takes time, okay? It takes finances many times, and it takes a heck of a lot of effort for you to get a return on that. Well, mine starts many years. I coached the high school level in Florida and Tennessee and different places for many years. And I was so focused on that later on, okay, that was all I thought about. That became my priority, okay, rather than expanding my personal development, which came later. It was all about winning, all about developing athletes, all about that aspect of my life. And then I had the opportunity to go into business with State Farm Insurance Company. So I was an entrepreneur, built his own business. And I was doing pretty well, okay, but not as well as I'd like. My manager at that time, Gordon, came to me, and we had a sit-down session and took a look at what I'd done that previous 6 months. And he said, Tommy, you're making pretty good progress, but I think you're capable of more. I said, Gordon, what in the heck do I need to do, okay? He said, I'm going to share something with you. You're not investing in your personal development. All of your investment is in your business development. I said, tell me more about that, okay? What am I not doing and I need to do? He said, well, listen, you've got to understand. He simply shared this with me. Your formal education will make you a living. Okay? Your self-education will make you a life. Invest as much time on yourself as you do your work, and you'll see unlimited progress that you make. And I stepped back. What an opening. I called it a defining moment for me. And I stepped back and I said, Gordon, you sold me. Okay, what do I need to do next? How do I get this personal development? He said, well, I'll share some things with you as your leader that'll help you. He said, there's some things that you can do right now. He said very much, Tommy, how much are you reading and what are you reading? How many books have you read this year? Well, nothing except insurance books, right? He said, well, there's one of the things you can start to do. Start to read, start to expand your mind. And he set me on that course of doing that. Today I read probably 3 to 4 books a month and continue to do that through the years because that's the way we get our personal development. Okay? I said, what else do I need to do? He said, you can start coming with me to educational meetings. I want you to start coming with me when I go to a workshop or seminar. That's all about leadership and how you develop your personal development. I said, okay, I'll go with you. Okay? So he took me right by the arm. Now, I don't see many leaders today doing that with the people around them. Okay? They'll go themselves, but many times they don't take their employees or somebody with them when they go. He did that. And then we got around to other things. Listen to tapes, CDs, all those kind of things for personal development. And I realized right away that I had 2 weak areas. Communication, for sure, and then leadership, because I had a pretty good sized staff. I had about 7 or 8 people working within my organization, and I needed leadership as well as communication skills. So I said, these are 2 areas. He said, well, what we're going to do here, we're going to sign you up for Dale Carnegie. Anybody been through Dale Carnegie? Okay, yeah. Now, he was sold me, not just signed me up for 1, but he got 2 or 3. And they were good, okay? And I learned a lot. But here's the difference of that and Toastmasters. When you finished your 14 weeks back then, there was no feedback. And one of the greatest things this organization gives you is every time you come in here, there's feedback, immediate feedback. You don't have to wait a week or 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get that feedback. So that I went through the Dale Carnegie and was very, very pleased with what I learned, but I was not happy. And I took a promotion with State Farm and came to Indianapolis, Indiana, 1970-71. And I joined the Checker Flag Toastmaster over on the west side. And that was the beginning for me. Because now I had a path that could lead me to what I want as far as my personal development. So I'd gone there as a sales manager. Immediately I realized the importance of what this organization and leadership and communication means to those of us that are in sales position. How many of you are in sales? Raise your hand. Everybody's in sales, right? Yeah, everybody's in sales. We're selling somebody all the time, right? Selling is nothing more than influencing somebody to take the right kind of moves. So immediately I said, okay, I need that as far as my sales training, sales management, to be able to help my salespeople. And by the way, when I hired them, and I hired probably 15 during the time that I was selling, every one of them, I paid their way into this organization. So I'll pay you away for a year. I want you on your feet every meeting, right? And none of them ever came back and said, Coach, they call me Coach. Coach, it wasn't worth it. I said, I got so much out of that. Because one of the great things you get out of it is your impromptu speaking, your table topics. Most of us, if we got 7.5, 10 minutes to prepare a talk, we did pretty well. When somebody asks us a question, Andy, what do you think about? Wow, okay, how do we handle that? With an opening, a body, and a close. We struggle, right? We struggle. So another great benefit of this organization that I learned to speak on my feet, anywhere. Didn't matter whether there's a small group, big group, or thousands of people, you learn very quickly to organize your thought, think it through, and then speak in a way that you can influence and make a decision to help other people in that process and influence them. Now here's a turning point also. How many of you have entered the speech contest at Toastmasters? Congratulations. Congratulations. One of the greatest experiences I ever had. About my second or third year, I said, how do I get better? Compete. We get better at anything when we have competition, okay? And it takes a little bit of courage. It takes some guts to step up here and prepare a talk and then give it to a group of people that you're going to be evaluated for as a speech contest. There's several of them, numerous. I entered the what we used to call the serious speech contest, right? And back then, there you do 2 things. You have your 7.5 minutes prepared talk, and then you have your impromptu, your table topic talk. You got them both, and they score them both. So I said, well, I'm going to try it. Well, I won the club. Okay, I won the area. I won the division. I won the district. I won the region. And then I went to international in Anaheim, California in 1974. I didn't win, but I won because of that trip and because of preparing myself. Now here's the reason, I think, bragging a little bit, that I didn't win. You got 7 minutes and 30 seconds, right?
Okay.
I spoke 7 minutes and 33 seconds. And was eliminated. So, keep time on me, right? I get accused of going overtime because I'm so passionate about what I do. Sometimes it's hard to really, so you be sure and tell me if you want to give me 2 minutes or 1 minute so I can get off here.
What's
or
the
maybe
length?
Tim could do that, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the beginning. And learning to communicate is, most people join for that reason. So I went as far as I could go, great ride, learned so much, had a lot of competition, spoke to about 2,000 people in Anaheim, which is the largest group that I'd ever spoke to in my life, coming from Tennessee. I didn't mention I was a Tennessean. I talked a little bit slow, and the time goes a little faster when you're speaking slower, right? But you know what I blame it on? I had a little bit of humor in there. You have to, of course. And I had such a great crowd, I couldn't get them quiet. So instead of talking, I just sat back and I lost my time, lost my 3 seconds. I don't know whether that's so or not, but I like to point to that anyway. But that was a great experience. 2 minutes, all I got?
You can take all you like, but he told me 1 to 2, we'll go 1 to 2.
No, it's your time. Okay, well, I'm gonna speed it up, okay? I can speed it up. I've been in Indiana several years, so I got all that. Okay, I went from there. I came back, got in my club, and I said, my next level is leadership. Okay? How many of you had a club office? If you're a Toastmaster and been in over a year, get a club office. So I got back and I had every office that was offered at the club level. Okay? Then I went as area governor. Then I went and ran for division governor. Then I was a district governor. Then I went to the region. Next step for me was area, what they call them, area governor at that time, but the next one was regional, and then the next was 5 places in the organization at that time that covered different parts of the country. So I ran that, and then ran for third vice president, was elected third vice, second vice, first vice president in 1988, 89, traveled over 70,000 miles for the organization, came back, was immediate pass, and come back, and I'm still a Toastmaster today.
All right.
I belong to the Northwest Toastmasters. We meet on Wednesday morning, and that's been a great, great experience for me. So I can't tell you how much and how important it is. I could go for hours talking about the value of both of those, communication and leadership. And leadership, and I've moved through my organization to a vice president, and I owe a lot back in the corporate world because of what I had learned as a leader, and that helped this organization and helped me. Then when I was president, every Toastmaster, every State Farm organization in the United States had a Toastmaster club. So I made sure that I followed up with that organization. So all I can say is, look at your investment. Where can you find an investment better that will pour more into you in 2 key areas than anything you're doing today? Communication and leadership. John Maxwell, who I do a lot of work with him and his coaching, said, it's called the law of the lid. If you think about a lid, okay, leadership is that lid. And the more you raise that level of increasing your leadership skill at home, in the workplace, Toastmasters, and other, the more you're going to be able to accomplish. And I found that to be exactly true. It's a great organization. I'll stay around later, and any of you want to visit, but I don't want to hold your meeting up. Just so pleased to be here. Get out and invest in something that not only will do you a great good, but you can help other people with that investment. Mr. Toastmaster.
Originally, this was going to be planned to be on St. Patrick's Day. There we go. So I I had this crazy idea and I was up in Michigan.
Aw.